So, good morning to the Americans and good afternoon to the Europeans and good evening to the Indians. Respected President of the program, Mr. Prabhakaran Parashi, Chief Guest of the event, Mr. Uwe Holz, respected guests of honor and advisors of Photomuse, special invited guests from India and abroad, the trustees and members of the Better Art Foundation, members of the editorial board of the Photomuse Journal, the patrons, members, and the staff of Photomuse, and all the friends of photographic fraternity who are attending this function on Zoom as well as on Facebook Live. As the founding president of Better Art Foundation and the director of Photomuse, and as a man who loves photography as an art form, I am now sitting on cloud number 9. With all the people who have nourished Photomuse sitting in a virtual world around us, this event becomes exceptionally important to the Better Art Foundation. This is the first event in which almost all the Photomuse advisors, consultants, resource persons, and members have come together on one platform. This makes the official launch of the Photomuse Journal a very special event for all the Photomusers. With that much pride and pleasure inside, I enter the formal welcoming ceremony. I welcome Mr. Prabhakaran Parashi, who is a writer, researcher, author, and the secretary of the Apex Body for Culture, Government of Kerala. I think he has some technical issues right now. He has not joined. Let us wait for him. And I welcome Mr. Uwe Holz, the inaugurator of the event. He is the director and curator of Industry and Film Museum, Germany. Welcome, sir. Then I welcome Mr. Herbert Ashman Jr., the director of Cleveland Photo Fest, USA. Welcome, sir. And I welcome Vijay Kumar Menon, sir, art historian from Kerala, India. I think he's, we are waiting for him. I welcome Mr. Theo Burns from the Netherlands. He's a fine art photographer from the New Amsterdam. Welcome, sir. I welcome Professor K.G. Soman, former professor of cinematography from FTII Pune, India. Welcome, sir. I welcome Mr. Paul Moore, a photographer from Paris. We are also waiting for him to join us. I welcome Ms. Jamia Jameson, art conservator from Cleveland, USA. Thank you, madam, for joining us. I welcome Mr. Suresh Elman, photographer and filmmaker from Trivandrum. Welcome, sir. I think his video is off. I welcome Mr. Balan Madhavan, nature photographer from Thiruvananthapuram. Mr. Prabhu Mensana, assistant conservator of forests, Kerala, and photographer and filmmaker. Mr. Dilip Andikad, nature photographer and conservationist. He's online. Welcome, Dilip. And I welcome Mr. George Matthew, entomologist and scientist emeritus, KFRI. Then I welcome Mr. Joy Kaidarat, a socio-cultural and human rights activist from Kerala. We are waiting for him to, he has some technical issues with his mobile connection. And I welcome every other participant who is right now online, and let us begin the function. And I invite Mr. Uwe Holz for his inaugural speech, because we are waiting for Prabhakaran Parashi, the president of the function. Uwe, can you begin?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Now, okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, respected Secretary Mr. Prabhakaran, respected guests of the day, other dignitaries, colleagues, and friends. First of all, I wish to thank all those who take part in this project of photography. Photomuse offers with its journal a new way for cultural interchange. We are living in a difficult time, like our parents did and like our grandparents did, and as how they did, we are looking for solving problems. We have big problems at the very time. The pandemic situation is a real big challenge for us. And we have really to solve problems. But there are other things in the world which move us. And I think Photomuse gives us a key to solve problem. And the name of the key is inspiration. Inspiration, the inspiration's source is diversity. Online journal. And I'm always, as a historian, or shall I say, I still am fascinated by history. So the articles about Fontainebleau Forest and the Hampi have been a must for me. And it shows diversity. We fight for biodiversity on Earth because biodiversity is directly linked to our future and to the question how humans are going or how they can survive. But what we have to do, what we also have to do is we have to fight for cultural diversity. Photography from all over the world, or photographers from all over the world have their eyes wide open and describe the world from different point of views. So they create a diversity. If we see lots of different points of views, and if we listen to different voices in the world, so we can learn. Variety is wealth, and I don't mean it in a physical sense. Thanks to Photomuse giving cultural and photographic variety a platform. Thank you very much, Uni, and your team for giving us an opportunity for cultural interchange with the hope giving world some possible solutions for making the world probably a little bit better with that, what we can do best, making pictures and talking about them. So I'm officially launching the journal on behalf of Photomuse. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Uwe, for your inspiring words. Prabhakaran sir login ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടോ? Okay. Prabhakaran Parashi sir, is he online? I can't see.
ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ല sir, doctor.
Okay. Herb, can you hear me? I invite Mr. Herbert Asherman for his speech. Okay, please unmute Herbert Asherman.
Got it. There, am I on?
Yes, yes, please. Yes, Herb,
Okay.
it's working.
I would like to give my sincerest thanks to Uni and Bijou and the entire Photomuse organization, our German, our Swiss, our Netherlandish compatriots, for the opportunity to have worked with Uni for almost 15 years. It's been one of the most enlightening experiences that I've ever had in terms of cross-cultural education, both for me and the many opportunities that I've had to speak in Kerala and to teach and to, more importantly, learn from those around Uni who have supported him over the years in his endeavor with Photomuse and the magazine. So I am extremely appreciative to be in this organization, to be a supporter of Uni, and to be a supporter of the fabulous Indian photographers whose work I have seen. Many of you know that last year, the Cleveland Photo Fest, of which I'm the founding director, arranged an exchange program between Cleveland photographers and Indian photographers. We sent over 75 pictures, which will be exhibited someday when the museum opens, maybe. And Uni will be collecting 40 or 50 images from as many Indian photographers, which will be seen here in May of next year. And the object is to broaden horizons, to share intellect, to share image making, and most importantly, to share in the magnificent art of creativity. The surprise of the entire exhibition will be that we are leaving our photographs in India to be distributed to various Indian photographers, and those photographers that will be sending their work to us will be distributed to American photographers. So it's the epitome of an association. It's the epitome of sharing. And it's the crowning achievement of this unity that Uni and I have worked on for many, many years in terms of an exchange of ideas. Having said that, I want to go back. Ui took a lot of what I was going to say about photography and sharing, et cetera, so we'll skip that. But in the 19th century, 95% of all innovations were made by amateur photographers who experimented along the way with different, and back then, mechanical processes, and who, through journals and letters, they didn't have Zoom, but they shared their ideas through journals and letters all over the world in that period. So from 1839, when Daguerre launched photography, we say, until 1888, when George Eastman formalized it in terms of you snap the shutter, we do the rest, 99% of all innovation was done by amateurs. And the information, and my point is that it was shared through publications. So the Photomuse publication plays a very essential role in understanding an exchange of ideas between people in disparate parts of the world, what they're thinking, what they're seeing, what they're trying to achieve, and using the international scale that Uni has built as a sounding board for those ideas. So the magazine could not be more appropriate, nor have come at a better time, with the association of many, many peoples throughout the world. As I said, I'm the director of the Cleveland Photo Fest, and our motto, which I would be glad to share with you, is unity through photography. We believe that through the sharing of ideas, the sharing of information, the sharing of concept, the sharing of hopefully peace and unity will help us move forward into the coming years. And we have appended this motto. It's now community through photography. So we are looking for, as far as the Cleveland Photo Fest and our Indian and European compatriots, to share what we know, what we've learned, what we feel, and to give back to those same contributing people on an international basis with what we discover in terms of promoting photography as a fine art. So my sincerest thanks for Uni, and I absolutely am impressed and appreciative to be a contributor to the magazine, and we look forward to many, many issues in the future. Thank you.
Vijay Kumar Menon sir from Kerala has joined us. He's an art critic and historian. Menon sir, കേൾക്കാമോ പറയുന്നത്? KK Menon സാറിന്റെ unmute ചെയ്യാമോ? I invite Vijay Kumar Menon sir to talk for a few minutes about the journal.
കേൾക്കാമല്ലോ.
കേൾക്കാം. സാർ സംസാരിച്ചോളൂ.
ഇംഗ്ലീഷിൽ വേണോ മലയാളത്തിൽ വേണോ?
ഏതായാലും കുഴപ്പമില്ല.
There are a number of people from outside Kerala.
Yes.
So it is better to talk in English, I feel.
Okay, thank you.
Am I right?
Right.
Right. So when we are distancing ourselves from one another now because of COVID-19, we need some kind of great introspection, I feel. At this juncture, it is the language of photography that is giving us to open up the horizons of thought and feeling. Technology also is what can we say, is a kind of alter ego nowadays. Previously, we used to think about only IQ, intelligence, quotient. Now, EQ is a very important factor. Now, another factor is there, that is actually the digital factor, that is another quotient. Now we are on this platform of Photomuse to see that a digital journal is released today. Photomuse is a platform based in India to promote art through mainly photography, and also to connect people through visuals. Visual language, that is the most important thing in photography. Visual language is used in the most sensitive way, because anybody can make a photograph now, as smartphones are freely available to most of the people. It is this time that we have to think about the quality of photograph and also the thought process behind photography. And Photomuse is always giving that opportunity to many youngsters, along with the professionals, to understand the significance of photography. And we have to see that this particular aspect, or rather, I like to call it the philosophy of photography and the aesthetics of photography, is now creating a sense in this world, because the world has changed and became a very complex one. Now it is a very complex situation. It is this time that we have to think in terms of photography. We have to think in terms of photography. It is not just reproducing some objects in the form of image, but we have to think through that language of photography. And so this Photomuse platform, at the time of releasing this journal, I like to thank all the people connected with Photomuse, and I request all these people to join us and find out what are the possibilities that we have, especially the younger generation in India and also in other countries. Dr. Unikrishnan and others are doing a marvelous job, and Photomuse is considered to be an organization, a premier organization, I have to say, in the photo museum culture of India. And this platform for global discussion is very appreciable. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I invite Theo Burns from New Amsterdam to speak a few words. KK, can you unmute him?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect, perfect.
Okay. Well, congratulations, Photomuse members, for the journal inauguration. Sorry for my bad English, but I'm Dutch. And so that's my main language. But it's such an honor to be part of this, of Photomuse. Why? Photography is such an accessible medium which can be used by everyone, and it shows a reflection of the soul from the photographer or the human in his or her world. What could be leading to more understanding and respect? I think it's a universal language, and when I'm saying in Dutch, and I'm showing Uni as example. I'm saying I made a beautiful picture of a boom. He wouldn't understand it, and but it means a tree. But when I'm showing a picture of it, he understands exactly the basic forms that I made a picture of a tree and not a boom. So it's a very easy starting to exchange languages. What my experience was, and I want to tell you this, the local government asked me some couple of years ago to do an educational program for photography for people who were falling between the cracks. Their age was about 18 to 27 years. All those people were from different cultures. As you know, the Netherlands has people from China, from Africa, from South America. So they were all different kinds of cultures. And they had one thing in common. They didn't like themselves. They didn't have any jobs. And this was a real problem for our government. Everyone was getting a very small camera, and we started with our lessons. It was a very bitter cold group, and with no conjunctions to each other. There was more hate and fear in them. And after some days, 2 days, they were sharing the images, and they started to talk about their pictures. And more, they were taking pictures of themselves. And the respect and joy to each other was growing and growing. It was like a flower who was getting open. I was so proud that those people overwhelmed themselves, that they could show themselves by photography and not only by words. After 3 weeks of these lessons, there were social professionals were taking it over, and 70% of them have now a job and are happy. Because of the photography, the photography gave them respect again. So that was such a big gift, but they gave also to me. And it made me so very happy. And this is what I like so much about Photomuse. They are doing now the same. They are joining countries, people together. And I think that all those reflections of different souls all over the world can make people more close to each other and more understanding. This is very important now in this world, and I think Uni and Photomuse, you're doing it great. I love what you are doing, and I'm so proud to be one of yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Theo, for your kind words. I invite Professor K.G. Soman sir. Soman sir online undo? എനിക്ക് കാണാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല. ബിജു.
സോമൻ സാർ ഓൺലൈൻ ഉണ്ട്.
സോമൻ സാർ കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ?
കേൾക്കാമല്ലോ.
Sir,
hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. So it was a great honor and privilege to attend this launching of Photomuse journal. I have been teaching photography almost 30-35 years. Still I am learning. See, photography is passing through a very difficult kind of a situation. See, now anyone can take a photograph, but creatively manipulating it is the most essential part of presenting a photograph. We all are manipulators of time, space, color, light, and all sort of that kind of things. Through our manipulation, like the inaugurated person told, it is a diversity. So it is a selective use of light and subjective kind of presentation. So it is a great opportunity to see variety of photographs, ideas, emotions, visual structure from different countries. And Photomuse is providing an opportunity and a platform to present these kind of photographs all over the world. So thank you very much to the Photomuse team and all the great manipulators of time, space, color, and emotions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Is Paul Moore online? Is Paul online? Biju, can you see Paul Moore online anywhere?
No, not seen. Online കാണുന്നില്ല ഡോക്ടർ.
Okay, maybe he could not join. And Joy Kaidarathu online വന്നിട്ടുണ്ടോ? ഇല്ല. Joy is also not online. So let us move on to Jameson. Can you speak a few words for us?
Hello. So I'm joining from Cleveland as well, where Herb is also. And I met Uni a few years back when Herb introduced us as I was a paper conservator and still am a paper conservator. So my focus and in this project has been as an advisor for preservation and conservation of photography and giving Uni information on how best to store the collections at Photomuse. And I also have spent the last decade traveling around India, and I can say that India is nothing if not an amazingly photogenic country. And so has a long history of photography. And it's wonderful that Photomuse is maintaining that archive and that historical record of photography, not only in India, but over the world. And I really appreciate their historic camera collection. I've enjoyed seeing all of those photos pop up. And it's really wonderful that the journal is going to continue to contribute to the historical record of photography around the world. I think too that the connection to preservation is really important to help preserve not only our current photos, but our previous photos for future generations so that people can see what the world was like at various times. It's really important to have that historical record for the world, not only for India, but for the world. So some of what I have been involved in is finding resources for Photomuse, both within India, but also around the world, to help make sure that the photographs are preserved properly. And to that end, last year I went to Tamil Nadu and went to the Aurobindo ashram, where they have an amazing paper-making facility. And they make really wonderful archival grade papers. And so we were able to connect Photomuse with that. So hopefully they have a good supplier in India of archival papers. I've also been involved with INTAC, which is the Indian National Trust for Art and Cultural Heritage. And they do amazing webinars, which you should look them up and check out some of their webinars for all kinds of historical documents and objects. So again, I'm really excited to be part of Photomuse, and thank you to Uni for keeping me involved in this, and congratulations on this journal. I think it's going to really be a wonderful resource going into the future to contribute to the historical record of photography.
Thank you. Thank you. Suresh Element sir and online. Can you hear me? Suresh Element sir.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you speak a few words?
Yeah. Thank you very much for inviting me to this platform. If my memory is correct, I think I've been a co-traveler with Photomuse ever since its inception. If I'm not wrong. I have indeed great appreciation on all its activities and respect too. Respect mainly because I have found that the hallmark of Dr. Uni and his Photomuse is genuineness, something very, very rare in this present day scenario. Let me wish you and your team on this new venture all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Is Balan sir online? Balan Madhan sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. I invite you to speak a few words.
Okay. So, good afternoon, good evening to all the visual authors from different parts of the world. As an invited guest, I had this opportunity to have a sneak preview of the journal that is being released today. And I think the most important thing is, which is already mentioned by many of the speakers today, it's about learning from the diversity. I personally feel that for many of our photographers, we all fall into this trap of the frog in the well situation. So we always think that our photographs in one particular genre is the only thing that photography is about. But when we go through the creative works of amazing photographers from different parts of the world, it opens up our horizons basically. And another thing I noticed that each of these great senior people with decades of experience in photography they were talking about, they all say that they are still students of photography. none of them claim to be masters of photography. That's a passion. So long as you hold on to your passion, you have a passion inside you, you will always remain a student, because we know that there's so much out there. And what this journal made me humble. Because in one branch of photography, maybe I have done a lot of work, but when I looking through, in fact, I spent half a day today going through the pictures and the text behind each of the pictures. And what a beautiful narrative and what a beautiful philosophy these things have. And that is why, say, congratulations to the Photomuse team, but just one request to Dr. Unni and all others, that we need to translate this journal into as many languages as possible, starting with our own Malayalam, and also later on to other languages. This is the only request I have, but phenomenal work. And I don't know whether it's a monthly, a quarterly, or an annual journal, but please expose this kind of amazing work which is happening in the rest of the world to our photographer. And this is a brilliant platform. Thank you. Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, for the kind words. Thank you. Is Prabhu online? I think he has not joined us. Dilip is online. Dilip Antikar, he is a nature photographer and a conservationist. Dilip, can you speak a few words?
Hey, can you hear me? Good evening, friends.
Perfect.
It's my pleasure meeting all my many familiar faces, friends, and senior most photographers from around the world, and listen to their words of wisdom. It's my pleasure being here. And for Photomuse, this is yet another milestone, completing, as Mr. Bharan Madhavan told, phenomenal work. And for me personally, it's a proud for all of us to have a platform which connects, present, because photography is one of the maybe most fast-growing hobbies in the world and most influential one, connecting with the past, with the heritage of photography, and paving a pathway for the future to connect with the future generation to come about the history and cultural heritage of photography, as well as human and natural heritage. All it covers in the form of photography. So still, Photomuse has a long way to go, as you know, especially even Indian platform itself. So Photomuse is covering South India. So we'll need support of everyone to, accomplish its final goals or established goals, and hope we could see one day it's becoming really an umbrella-like organization in their country. And thank you everyone for.
Thank you. Thank you, Dilip. Is George Matthews online? I think he has not joined us.
He's online.
Ara?
George Matthews online.
George Matthews.
Matthews sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to people from various parts of the world. I'm really, it's a great pleasure for me to note that the Photo Museum is releasing the online version of the journal. Hearty congratulations to Dr. Unnikrishnan and his team for this tremendous achievement. I understand that Dr. Unnikrishnan, he has reached a milestone now. We know for the past more than 2 decades, we are friends, and I depend very heavily on him for his artistic talents, because I'm not a photographer, or I am not a very good artist also. So I depend heavily on him for all his talents. And I have been closely watching the evolution of Dr. Unnikrishnan into an accomplished artist photographer from a medical practitioner. So now he is a very good photographic artist. Now we know that the artists are people who give life to inanimate objects. We take a dry leaf or a dry twig, a photographer can easily change them into a lively object through the photographs. So that is the greatest achievement of a real artist or real photographer. So I have gone through this online version of the journal. It has come out very nicely. It's very good quality, and it's comparable to any other international journal. And I am sure that this journal will be a good platform for many people to present their creations in the years to come. So I wish all the best to the Photomuse organization and hope that it will reach greater heights in the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the kind words. Thank you. I think almost all of our guests of honor and the special guests have spoken their opinion, and some have already presented their suggestions also for the improvement of the journal, and we will certainly look into that points, especially regarding other languages and especially Malayalam. We will discuss this factor in detail and make a decision very soon. Thank you everyone, and I think I have not missed anyone in between, because we have a very big list of important persons here. And other than the speakers, does anyone would like to add any points to this already that we have discussed already? Any points? Meena madam or Hari is there, and Nandatam is there. Would you like to add any points to what we have discussed, or anyone else would like to speak a few words about the journal? Anybody in the online right now? If not, we will go in for vote of thanks. I invite Meena Kumar, Dr. Meena Kumar, to express the vote of thanks.
Hello, I hope I'm audible.
Yes, yes.
Right. Good evening, everybody. Dignitaries, national, international, Director, Better Art Foundation, Photomuse, Dr. Unikrishnan Pulikal, photographers, professionals, amateurs, enthusiasts. I'll wish you all again a very warm good evening. Now, at the outset, let me congratulate Photomuse on their new venture. I'm sure this will be a platform for fruitful deliberations on photography and for the growth of a photographic culture. Mr. Huve Ors, in his inaugural speech launching the journal, spoke about the need of diversity in contemporary world. As he said, variety is wealth, and I think this is an apt metaphor to describe this journal. Thank you, Mr. Huve Ors. Mr. Herbert Asham spoke about the yeoman service of amateur photographers in 1900 and how this information was disseminated through journals. And then I don't have to talk about the relevance of this journal at this time. Thank you, sir. Mr. Vijay Kumar talked about the importance of digital IQ and the importance of visual language in this modern world ridden with technology. Thank you again, sir, for your informative talk. Theo Burns spoke about the ease with which visual arts communicate and how it can act as a cultural bridge. Thank you, sir. Sri Soman spoke about the visual aspects or the vital aspects of photography, how an artist manipulates time, space, color, and time. Thank you, sir, again. Ms. Jameson spoke about the importance of preserving culture for the future generation through photographs. Thank you for the valuable insight. Let me thank Mr. Suresh Laman for his encouraging words. Mr. Balan Madhavan emphasized the need to think beyond our possibilities by opening our minds to other influences. He also spoke about the need to translate the journal into other languages, which I think Dr. Uni has taken note of. I think something will come of that suggestion. Thank you, sir. I thank Mr. Dilip Andikar for his kind words about Photomuse. Mr. George Matthews spoke about the artistic quality of photography. Thank you, sir. A special word of thanks to the organizers, Director Dr. Unikrishan Pulikal, Team Photomuse, Dr. KK Biju, and to all the photographers out there, birds of the same feather. Wish you all a very happy journey and hope you have.
There is some issue with the connection, I think. And before we leave, I just screen share our journal for those who have not already seen it. Just 1 second. I hope you can see it. This is the Photomuse journal that we are launching. There is a direct link from the original website of Photomuse. That is www.photomuse.in. We have a direct link to the journal. And you can also directly reach the journal by typing www.journal.photomuse.in. So this is a journal. We have sliders of important articles, and all the new publications come here one by one. I request all of you to go through each one of them. And we have the contents here: articles, curated section, documentaries, exhibitions, interviews, news, and new collections. And all those in the curated section, we have the international artists with their work. Already we have the work by Theo, and Herb is there, and many other friends are there. So I invite all of you to go through this work when the time permits. So there is an overview of the journal. I think you have enjoyed the evening, and evening for the Indians, of course. And thank you once again for joining us. And even after this meeting, I request all of you to send in your suggestions, criticism, and most importantly, important content for the journal. Whenever you come across good content, especially that is important historically or aesthetically or technically, please share with us so that we can have a look and consider publishing in the journal. I think it's our duty. All of us should contribute to the growth of the journal so that it can become a highly academic platform for the growth of the medium. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, especially Uwe, Herb, Theo, and everyone else from the Western world, and for those from India and the Middle East. Okay, thank you once again. So I think we can wind up. Okay.
Okay.
Keep up the good work.